Hey foodies, there are times when you just want to try something different, and potatoes are so versatile. I saw this smashed potatoes on social media and I decided to give it a try. Let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do, guys, is just boil the potatoes. So that's simply salt and water. I'm using some mini potatoes because that is perfect for this recipe. So just bring them to a boil, and then you're gonna cook these for about 20 minutes. So you just want them to be tender. Once they're cooked, you want to drain them for at least 5 minutes. So just let them sit for at least 5 minutes, and then we're gonna place them on a baking tray. You could use a non-stick baking tray and just grease it if you want to, or you could do what I did. I just got a regular baking tray, put some parchment paper on there, and then place the potatoes on there. Just make sure they have some space in between. When it comes to smashing them, you could use a potato masher. You could even use a egg lifter or offset spatula, or you could just simply use a fork. As a matter of fact, you could even use a glass. Okay, so I'm just going to be pressing these, and it's really up to you if you want to press them super flat to make them completely crispy, or you can just press them slightly so the edges are crispy and then the insides are fluffy and nice. All right, so when I use the egg lifter or the potato masher, I just keep my hand on there and then just release. Okay, so you can use whatever works for you. You could try one or two things and see what works best. Now, while you're pressing these, you want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that high temperature is going to crisp up the edges of the potatoes. Once we're done smashing all of these, then you're just gonna brush on olive oil, or you could brush on some butter or a mixture of butter and olive oil, whatever fat you prefer. Just brush it on generously though. So make sure you do that generously. Then after you brush it on, we're gonna season the potatoes. If you feel like the potatoes are breaking apart when you do that brushing, just do a gentle tapping instead, and that will help. Now, it is very important to season potatoes, okay? For this recipe, I'm going to be adding a mixture of salt, garlic powder, and onion powder, and a little pepper, okay? So that's what we're going to be sprinkling on. After you've done all the seasoning, then put this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. And this is what we end up with. You can do this two ways, okay? You could continue to bake this for another 20 minutes after checking on it, or you could flip them. I decided to flip them, okay? So I'm gonna flip it, then I'm gonna brush on some more of that butter and olive oil, and then I'm gonna sprinkle some more seasoning. Just be careful of the amount of salt you use. You can season to taste, but be careful of how much salt, because remember, we boiled this in salted water and we added salt on the other side. So we're gonna add the butter and the oil generously and then season again. Then we'll put it back in the oven, same 400 degrees for another 20 minutes. When you hit that 20-minute mark, if it's not crispy enough for you, you can continue to bake it and just monitor it closely. So back into the oven for about 20 minutes, and then here we go, all crisped up. These are gorgeous. The edges are crispy and then the insides are tender and fluffy. So it's really up to you. You can press these super flat and have the whole thing crispy, or you can just slightly press them and have that contrast. This is perfect for snacking, but it's also a great side dish. So let me know in the comment section if you would snack on it or if you would put it with one of your favorite entrees. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.